Oscar BEVIS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here at West Ham Boxing Club with Viddal Riley.
What you saying?
You're a bit of a celebrity now.
I've been a celebrity, man. I've been a celebrity. It's just that now you know it. That's the only difference.
You've been a busy man as well.
Yeah.
You've been making music. You've had the 2 press conferences. Now it's all out of the way.
Yep.
Obviously, they're sort of fun from your perspective, and you enjoy that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But is it a little bit of a relief that you can just focus on the actual event?
Yeah, the press conference and all those commitments are great for promotion, great for hype, great for followers, clicks, likes, but it's not going to win us the fight. So it's good to actually have those out the way until fight week now and just knuckle down and finish off the camp on a bang.
Your community are mental, by the way. They are absolutely...
Listen,
we're going to talk about the actual press conference in a bit later, but
yeah.
the videos that you've done,
Yeah.
obviously the channel we're on, they're not sort of the things that the places people will be looking for that sort of content most of the time, but
Yeah.
you look at the likes of Sky's videos, you're trending #1 on YouTube.
That's crazy because, Sky, you know what I mean? They're they're the biggest boxing network in the UK, and I haven't been on that channel before. So then they do a full-length interview, 15 minutes, and next thing you know, it's like #1 trending by the morning, nearly 500,000 views. So you can't deny us, we're showing people that, you can't deny us. You got the sidemen on Sky Sports Boxing. That doesn't even make sense in a sentence, but it makes sense because you can't deny us. We've been around for long enough now and attract enough attention. So all the other media outlets just have to accept us.
When you talk about the sidemen, that's sort of a group of KSI and 5 or 6 other YouTubers.
Other guys, 7.
What do they know about boxing in terms of current boxing, history of boxing? Like, what's their knowledge like? Not on the boxing side as a fighter, but what's their knowledge like of? Do they watch a lot of boxing?
No, they're not boxing fans. They're just fans of their friend, I guess. They're just supporting what their friend's doing, but they're not. If JJ's not boxing, they're not gonna go out their way to watch a fight besides AJ, or your biggest names out there. So, the boxing knowledge isn't up to scratch, but I guess it doesn't have to be. They have high knowledge on what they do and they smash it. So, I guess that's what it matters.
And at one point, I imagine KSI or JJ was in that sort of fold as well.
Yeah, for sure. He was just doing whatever he was doing, recording FIFA videos, pranks, skits, all that sort of stuff. But now he's chosen to be a boxer until November the 9th, because that's the current challenge. And he has to be a boxer for this period, and that's how he's going to win.
I saw a video that he put online of him on the pads. I'm not sure how long. It could have been 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm not sure. But it generally looked like my nan hitting the pads.
Oh, he was so bad.
It's a massive jump.
I saw it. He sent it into the group chat, and I was like, yeah, man, that's outrageous. But that's before I knew him, so you can see you can see what happened there. Bang, met him, better boxer. So yeah, but he used to be in the same category, and that's why I think everyone should give these guys more credit, because they've gone from having nothing to do with the sport to Sky Sports documenting the zone, and it's on box office. How many fighters wish they were on box office? So yeah, man, you can't really frown upon them.
When do you think he first saw the potential for this to be as big as it was? Because obviously he's had 2 amateur fights, high-profile amateur fights. When do you think, let's go back to the first one that he had with Joe Weller.
One, yeah.
When do you think there was sort of potential that, because obviously I know there was a bit of online beef, I'm not too clued up on exactly what.
It was a bit
When
of
do you
beef.
think it clicked in and they went, we can sort of make a massive event out of this?
After the first event, looking at the gate numbers.
So they didn't realise the size until they had one?
No, it was just we're going to do a boxing match and let's see how it goes. 8,500 people, sold out, over 25 million views online, and then you're just okay, we're onto something. And that's how the Logan fight came about, first one. And obviously from the Logan fight, everyone knew it was going to be big. You could act like, oh, I didn't know. But even Eddie says himself, once they sold out Manchester Arena, I was like, okay, cool, this is a big deal. So I think it was after the first event, that's when KSI realized this could be a big thing.
what do you think's responsible for that sort of growth? Because I was looking at it the other day from a perspective that it might be something to do with perhaps the rise of Anthony Joshua and the fact that he brought in a massive bunch of casual fans into boxing and people who are now more boxing fans because of he was selling out arenas, punching people hard, etc. If you're looking at it that way.
So you mean like what do you think got him into boxing, or would you like?
Like, do you think there's anything responsible for this massive boom in boxing?
Yeah, we can't say AJ doesn't have a part to play because there's nothing to prove that he doesn't. But I wouldn't say that he does. It's the fact that he started making YouTube videos in 2008, and by 2018 he already had like 18 million subscribers. I think that's what is the biggest thing. So it was a decade of building brands and a decade of connecting with his audience that led to the boxing being big. And it doesn't have to be boxing. He could do fun wrestling. It doesn't even matter. It's just once he's reached that level of fame and success and support, you can make anything happen.
That's my next question, actually. I was going to say, if they were to, let's say, have a table tennis match, would it be just as big?
It wouldn't be just as big.
Or is it the fact that because they don't like each other, they're hurting each other as well, so there's a bit
of... like, humans want to see other humans hurt each other. Like, I don't know why, and it's just how life is. From the beginning of time, everyone wants to see
it's like if there was a fight at school, you'd all run towards it.
Everyone wants to see a scrap, man. Like, girls respect the strongest guy in the room, the guy that could beat up every other guy in the room. It's just like standard stuff, but table tennis would be big. It wouldn't be as big. But even when Logan was talking
you might
about...
do York Hall with table tennis.
Yeah, they might copper box again. They might 8,500 people would still watch them play table tennis. But even when Logan wanted to do the slapping competition in Russia, you seen that when you stand still like that, and then they
I've seen people do it.
Yeah,
he
was gonna do it. And the hype around that was already growing.
Him versus KSI in a slapping competition?
No, not him versus KSI. He was going to fight this Russian world champion. He was going to face off with this Russian guy, and it was already building hype. So it goes to show whatever comes out of their mouth will be entertained, He even spoke about fighting McGregor, and people are like, oh my God, then you might fight McGregor. It's like, these guys can say anything, and people will get hype about it.
I actually asked Paulie Malignaggi about the whole McGregor thing.
Yeah.
At the time, and he said McGregor should take it because it's the easiest fight he'll ever have. So, but I don't know. I don't know if that's just talk. Actually, thinking about that.
Size, man.
Exactly. I mean, thinking about that. Can this go any further in terms of would the winner? I mean, I'm not sure you would know too much about what Logan Paul's going to do in the future if he wins. But if KSI was to win, can this go further? Can we see him perhaps end up 6-0 or something by the end of next year?
KSI would fight Jake. I know he'd fight Jake.
So he's only interested in fighting sort of people in the YouTube scene?
Yeah, I can't... as his trainer and friend foremost, I wouldn't say to fight anyone else besides because why? What are you proving? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no point. I do what I do because I've just been doing it since I was 6. So it's like, this is what I was destined to do. But for him, he don't need to do that. If he can make tons of money in pay-per-view fighting people your level or just below, why would you want to throw yourself in the deep end against someone that's my level? It doesn't make any sense. So I wouldn't advise him to do it, but he's his own man.
And in terms of his sort of friends and the sidemen and these other YouTube guys, I was in the press area the other day at the press conference, and you see the same sort of faces in there all the time now, with sort of people and I remember walking in and Simon, one of the sidemen. Fans were chanting his name, and he was filming it, and I'll be honest, it was like no other press conference I've ever seen. But in terms of them guys, would any of them consider doing it?
No.
Because I know there was one guy that was brought on stage, and he used to potentially fight Logan Paul's brother.
Yeah, so he's not part of the Sidemen, but obviously he's big in the community, and he's the first YouTuber I ever trained, and that's how I know everyone. And he's fought before. Like, none of the other Sidemen have ever had a fight. Gibbs had 2 fights. He fought on the Weller show and KSI Logan 1 show, and he won both fights in devastating fashion. So
he fought other people in the YouTube community.
And that was white collar, other people within the YouTube community. But that fight with him and Jake Paul will be big. I think it has the potential to be as big as KSI and Logan too, because the hype, there would have been more hype around it. A lot of people are supporting it, and obviously KSI will support the event because it's his boy, and Logan will support the event because it's his brother. So Yeah, I think that would be a great promotional move to let those two fight. But boxing is addictive. It is one of those sports that you try it out and you think, oh, you know what, I can do it. And then a couple hard punches come in, you're like, you know what, let me go record a couple videos. But that's normal. The main thing is that everyone's being exposed to the sport. There's more people talking about boxing now than there were 2 years ago. So if we're achieving that, everyone just needs to relax and just give people their credit.
Do you think if they were going to fight, it would land on the November the 9th? It's probably too late now, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
It won't be November the 9th. But there are talks of another YouTube fight, potentially another card or something where a YouTube fight will be on there. So we'll see what they're planning for that.
Any clues? As to...
Nah, not really. Just
will it be a professional fight? Because I'm not sure if this is.
Yeah,
it will be a professional fight, right?
I feel like now Eddie's involved. Depending on the success of this event, it's already going well, but depending on the success of the event and everyone behind the scenes, if they're all happy, I think this is a thing that Eddie will be involved in, consistently. The YouTube community have proved already they can host the events on their own, and they've done it twice already. But if it makes more sense and everyone is happy with the new, Matchroom promoted shows, then yeah, maybe we could see that fight on a normal pro card and it's just thrown in the mix.
I mean, I did say to Adam Smith actually, if Sky didn't snap it up, BT would have snapped it up.
Yeah.
Someone was getting involved with it after.
Someone wanted the fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, it ends up being Sky and DAZN, and you can't complain about that. The biggest fights, one of the biggest fights of this year, December 7th, is going to be on DAZN, Sky Sports. So to have this fight a month before, yeah, they're laughing right now. They're laughing.
You say about these other YouTubers that would like to box. Have you been approached to train them?
Yeah, like most of them, I did train actually. If I'm thinking back to the first 2 shows, I probably trained at least 3 fighters on each show. So, I'm kind of like the Emmanuel Stewart of YouTube boxing coaching, because I just produce winners and champions. But yeah, no, some of them do approach me, and some of them do it for recreational, purposes and just self-defense. Not everyone. I always explain to people, not everyone that does boxing has to compete. Like you don't have to get in the ring and box for a national title or British title. You can literally just go in the gym, enjoy it, learn the game, and just like have fun with it. So a lot of them do that.
Right, I want to talk about the actual fight now.
Yeah.
Give us sort of a background on where the hatred comes from between JJ and Logan Paul. Where did it start? Is there what's the thing that sort of clicked it all off?
I don't know if they hate each other. I don't know if they hate each other, but they definitely dislike each other because of ego. It's an ego thing. It's like, I'm the biggest here, you're the biggest there, and the most manly way to settle differences and prove who's king of the jungle is to fight. And animals do it, humans do it, people do it all the time. It's like, if we want to settle our beef and see who's the top dog, I'm gonna knock you out. You can never talk to me again. That's kind of where everything stems from. And then along the way, a few personal comments get thrown in, things that get brought up you don't really want the public to know. And then that's when it adds to the hype, and then you get this thing where both of them are like, I don't even like you, I don't like you either. But I think after the fight, depending on the result, how devastating it is, they'll probably be cool. Amicable, not friends, but they'll be amicable.
What do you make of Logan Paul? 'Cause I'm going to start talking about the press conference now. I'll be honest, he's a very strange character. A lot of people might say the whole thing can be sometimes a bit cringe, some of the things that are going on, but if we're looking at it, Logan Paul in himself did seem a very strange character.
Yeah. No, I think he handled it the best he could. You know how the UK fans are. They don't give anyone a chance. Like, once they're ready, you're getting slaughtered. So was he going to sit there and try and be professional whilst getting insulted? Or was he going to do something that gives him content or can potentially make him a meme or something that can make him... Because let's be realistic, if he sat down there, got abused by the crowd, acted totally professional, that would have been the end of it. What made that press conference again get more attention was the people that tweet, what was he doing? What was he wearing? Why did he say that? Why did he do this? And that's why Logan has 18 million subscribers in 3 years. or 19 million, because he just knows if I do this, people will talk about it. If I act like this, people will talk about it. So I don't read into it too much. Like, I'm not one of those personalities that are like, at the press conference, that's where the fight begins. No, it doesn't. Like, the fight begins when the fight begins on round one. So I look at little things, but anyone can put on an act. We was only on the stage for 45 minutes. Anyone cannot be themselves for 45 minutes. Like, it's pretty chill. So I think he just done it for attention, and it worked. Fair play to him.
You and Shannon Briggs.
Yeah.
Would you actually fight Shannon Briggs?
If he was 90 kg, I would. That's the thing. If he was 90 kg, I would. But I'm crazy like that, though. I don't think about the fact he was heavyweight champion of the world, and I mean, this was
a long time ago, though.
Yeah, he was world champion in 2006 or something.
Is it as crazy as you just told me?
You know, like, for me, like, I would fight Shannon Briggs, and if he could make cruiserweight, and they gave me an 8-week camp, I would fight Shannon Briggs. That's the truth. But I got management that would tell me otherwise. That's why we have him on board. But yeah, me personally, I would.
Okay, I mean, it was quite good the other day, the back and forth between you and him building it as well. It's not just the fighters and the trainers. And then obviously you got his brother, so I can see where it's going with sort of the little storylines thrown in.
Yeah, nah, it's all, as we said, it's all promo, man. It's all promo, and you know, no one. Let me speak for myself, and I'll speak for myself. I don't hate Shannon Briggs. I don't know Shannon Briggs. I don't hate Logan Ave. I don't believe you can hate someone you don't know. I don't hang around with them enough to be like, oh, I hate you. But what I do know is that you're trying to take credit away from me. You're trying to make me like seem inferior to you by defeating my fighter and saying that you're a bad coach. So I have to defend my honor and retaliate. But it's no deep hate or disdain for anyone, man. Like, I don't really experience that stuff. I don't really feel like that about people.
Okay, that is fair enough. The actual fight, when they will get in the ring, I was just talking to a couple of guys here actually who work at the West Ham Boxing Club, and we were talking about the fight and saying it's 10-ounce gloves.
Big difference,
Massive difference to, what was it before? Was it 18-ounce gloves?
No, they had 12s. They had 12s on? Yeah, they had 12s on, but they had the head guard.
I thought they had pretty blown up gloves.
No,
they had 12s on.
Which is not bad, but the head guard is the
head
difference.
Guard, right, yeah.
That's the difference for me. Because 10, I've knocked people out in 12 and 10-ounce gloves, but head guards do make a difference.
Again, when I spoke to Adam Smith at the press conference, I said, is there a danger that when one of these guys, because they're both strong, powerful guys, let's be honest, you could see like Logan in that small top, you could see that he's a massive rip geezer. We've seen pictures of KSI, we know he's got a six-pack and we know he's a strong guy.
Yeah, they're both 90 kg guys, like they're big guys, you know.
So when they hit each other, it could be over in 30 seconds.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. This is the thing. My goal is to train KSI to have better defense, and the rest will fall in place. Defense.
So that's where it's won then?
Defense is where the fight is won. That's where most fights are won. Otherwise, it's just basically me fighting you outside. I hit you, you hit me, I hit you, you hit me. Ends up with a nose like that. That's not boxing. Yeah. It's not, is it? Like, defense is going to be the difference. Who can jab, put their other hand up, see a right hand come in, slip. Like, that's going to win them the fight. Because everyone can punch. It's the defensive bit that makes you a boxer. Not the way, that you can throw punches. So the focus is defense, because if Floyd Mayweather Jr., David Haye, Usyk, all people that have boxed from a really young age get given the same tools to fight as guys that have just had 2 white collar fights, and they knock people out. They've been knocked out. Some of those names I had. What makes you think one of these guys won't get knocked out? So it's defense. That's the key.
What sort of sparring has there been? Like, what sort of level of sparring?
As far as me most of the time, to be honest.
Yeah?
Because I'm a cruiserweight. I'm taller than him. I'm a better version.
Is Logan Paul's taller than me? He's quite tall.
Logan's probably like an inch taller than me, but he always wears heels. This is what I'm saying. They wear heels. Both of them wear heels. They're not that tall. They got little boots and like little stubs on them. Like he's about 6'3". When I put my boots on or whatever, I'm like 6'2".
How tall is JJ?
JJ's like, he's gonna kill me for this, but he's like 5'11". He'll say he's 6'1", but he's 5'11".
5'11 and a half.
Yeah, and a half. Let's add the half in. But he's been sparring me most of the time because I can spar with him and not kill him because I know I don't have to, and it allows him to learn. You know, a lot of people have these sparring sessions where they're punching lumps out of each other, adding mileage to their clock, and then they get in the ring and it's all in the gym. Because I'm skillful enough to actually say, no, stop that, put that here, boom, 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 but still hit him and have the size of a cruiserweight, it makes sense. Of course, there's other sparring partners there, but majority of the time, we're sparring and not adding any mileage to us because no one's getting hurt. We're just learning the moves, going through, but at an intensity where he still feels like, okay, I need to be prepared for 6-3. So it's been calm.
Is part of the sparring risk? I mean, has he sparred a few amateurs? I can imagine.
Yeah, he sparred a few elite amateurs.
Is part of the risk the fact that, I mean, KSI is a massive name, just in general. So the fact that, imagine going in there and saying, well, I'll knock KSI out today.
Yeah,
is that the sort of risk of just letting a top amateur go and then just try and knock him out?
100%. Like, you know, boxing is a egotistical sport. Once you get in there, you know, the amount, every guy wants to be the top dog. And that's just with an unknown guy that walks in off the street, let alone KSI. I'm like, oh my God, you know what I've done to KSI?
Well, you hear of young pros going into camps with people like Klitschko and going, I wanted to impress, so I was trying to hit him with this, do this,
And they do the same with KSI. It's just like, okay. So we have to really choose our moments of when we want him to have those doghouse type spars compared to education and learning and saving and preserving his body for who his enemy actually is, which is Logan.
Picking this back up with Viddal Riley before he tried to ditch me.
No, never. Come on,
yeah, to be fair, I think we've almost pretty much covered most things about the KSI fight. Just sort of, you're flying out Saturday?
Yeah.
Running things?
Saturday will be when we land in Vegas to continue the US camp. We'll have Jeff Mayweather, Larry Wade, Stitch Duran, you know, those will be the main names in the camp. And Larry's actually training Luis Ortiz right now. So JJ will be doing the strength and conditioning with him. And that is just perfect to train alongside the world champions and top people in their sport. He can see what it takes. He can dig that bit deeper when they do. And that's going to be what tips him over the edge on November 9th.
Okay, so on actual November the 9th, the Staples Centre.
Yeah, you better try and get an interview before Coogan runs up and takes it.
I'm actually not going to be there. I'm not going to be there.
You're not even
I haven't got the gig. No, I just do the groundwork in England. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's it going to be? Is it going to be completely different the morning of the fight compared to these previous two fights?
No, it's a fight.
You can treat it the exact same regardless.
It's a fight. All that's changed is who's involved.
Yeah.
The actual getting hit in your face, it's the same thing. It's just now in a different venue with more cameras, different network. But we treat it the same. We wake up, you eat, you rest, you study a little bit, you chill out, you don't think about the fight. Normal things. Like, we're not gonna blow this out of proportion. A lot of people like to overcomplicate life. Like, this is very simple. Stay rested, stay fed, stay healthy, think, and then fight.
Do you have to block this? Because obviously, if you look at the press conference the other day, there was people queuing with tickets.
Yeah.
Meters back. People queuing without tickets.
Yeah.
Just in the hope that they might be able to get in.
Yeah, to hope they will get in. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the press conference isn't the fight, but on the fight night, do you have to block that all out? Completely forget about that?
Oh, that has nothing to do with me. This is the thing. I just stay in my lane. I'm the boxing trainer.
So will you not be telling him anything other than boxing technical stuff?
No, because that stuff. This guy has 20 million subscribers. He stares into the camera. Don't speak. He will get 1 million views. He knows what attention is. He knows what fame is. He's a novice boxer, not novice to fame and attention. There's a very big difference. This guy sells out arenas on musical tours, like 20 city tours. He don't need me to tell him about crowd and performance. He just needs me to tell him about the boxing element and how to control your nerves to fight. Because obviously nerves to perform a song, nerves to perform in the ring, swim, anything. It's all different. But I know how to deal with the fighting nerves. He already knows how to deal with fame. He's more famous than me, so he's good.
Right, and just finally, on to you.
Yep.
I heard you're going to be fighting in December. I can't even remember where I heard that now.
Yeah, you probably Boxing Social or something. I think I told them. I think Boxing Social. But yeah, I should be fighting in December.
You've just broken the law. You've name dropped another. No, I'm joking. I like Boxing Social. I think that was where I heard it actually.
Yeah. It would have been there because that's the only thing. That's the only like I can think of right now. But no, it should be December.
In the US.
In the US, we'll have an announcement next week for you guys because everything is sorted behind the scenes.
Is it on the undercard of a big? Because you was on the undercard of
Pacquiao and Bruno.
Yeah, he was on. Is it on a big undercard or is it sort of your own show?
It's not going to be my own show.
Or like a Badou Jack promotion social. Yeah, not a Viddal Riley promotion show.
Yeah, it's not going to be my own show, but it's going to be a great show. And it's going to be a show that I'm on. And I'm excited. And next week, I'll get a little text from Oscar like, oh, well done, man. Congratulations.
After obviously being around Eddie Hearn, did you think, you know what, can I push the fight on that Saudi card?
No, you never actually crossed my mind. You actually, like, now you've said it, I was like, no.
Expect a text, Hearn, expect a text.
It actually never crossed my mind because it's not like something it's not something I'm thinking about. You know, when you're so focused on like KSI November 9th, it's like, cool. I don't think, okay, let me think about asking Eddie about December 7th. Like, nah, I haven't even thought that far ahead. I'm just thinking my man needs to win, and that's it.
Okay. Viddal Riley, thank you very much for speaking to IFL TV again. I'm sure the next time you're on the channel will be in LA.
I don't see you lot putting my channel link in the description. I'm messing Kugan, I'm messing. All right.